You can also use quadratic equation to solve something that you've seen in the past. When you were in grade 6, grade 7, there are times when you were asked to do something like this. There are two numbers, those two numbers would add up to 12, and they multiply to 32. Back in the days when you were told to solve questions like this, you probably would try starting with some random guess. Two numbers multiplied to 32. It could be 1 times 32, it could be 2 times 16, it could be 4 times 8, and eventually you will be able to come up with the right pair that will give us a product of 32, and they will also add up to 12. But there are times now in grade 11, those numbers may be a little bit wacky, and starting with some random guess may not work at the end. So here in example number 4, I have these questions again, which can be done by random guess, but I'm going to do it properly.
What if it's 8 and 4?
Yeah, it is 8 and 4, but then we want to come up with a systematic way so that even if those numbers are not integers, we will still be able to solve it. All right. Right now, this example, pretty obvious, it will be 8 and 4. But how do we do it when those numbers are, let's say, numbers 57? What are the two numbers, right? So we are going to start with the let statement. Let x be one of the two numbers, similar to what we did in the previous unit. We don't want to let x be the one number and y be the second one. You don't want to create too many variables at the beginning. But you know one thing for sure. If x is the first one and the second one, add them together will give us 12. What is the number? What is for the second value? How do you use the x and the 12? How do you bring them together to come up with an expression for the second number? If x plus something will give us 12 in total, what is the second number? 12 minus x, yes. Now, we don't need to create a new variable. We can stick with x, work with the 12 as well, and use the x and the number here to create a second equation. The question tells us these two numbers multiply to 32. And here comes an equation. It may not look like a quadratic equation, but if you expand it, you will start to see the x squared, and it will turn into a quadratic equation when you bring everything to the same side. We can solve this equation by graphing. We can enter this into our graphing calculator and find the x-intercept. We have x squared minus 12x minus 32. And once you graph it, wait, yes, thank you, plus 32, yes. It should be plus 32. And draw it. And you will be able to come up with two solutions on your parabola. Plus 32, yes. So once you draw it on your graphing calculator, we will see the two solutions on your graphing calculator. Here is one point when x equals 4, and then we have another point at x equals 8. You draw your parabola on your calculator, it will give us the two solutions, and they are the two numbers in this case.